what type of shoes do I decoy in? So my favorite pair of shoes by far is Ultra. They're actually a trail running company. So I probably had, I don't know, maybe 8 pairs of these over the last 4 or 5 years. Great pair of shoe, and I like them so much. I don't just wear them for decoying. This is a little bit of the dad in me. I actually wear them as an everyday shoe sometimes. When I'm not trying to look cool, I'm just being a dad in cargo shorts and I don't know, a plaid shirt tucked in and my Ultras. These are better than New Balance, right? So if you're a dad and you want a really comfortable shoe, get some of these. I don't think it makes you cooler. In fact, it probably makes you a little bit dorkier. But they're great decoying shoes. I love them for decoying. So when I first started trial decoying, I often wore some type of cleat, like a baseball, football spike or something like that. And that gave me really good traction. But what I found was a lot of the type of work that I was needing to do for PSA decoying was a lot of rotating of my foot on the ground. And what was happening with those spikes or those cleats is they're just a little bit too sticky, especially on like a PSA 1 courage test where I'm kind of rotating with the dog, allowing it to flow through. And, in a matter of a second, I go from facing forward to facing the other way as the dog comes through in the catch. So I was a little bit worried about my legs and my knees in particular with that cleat being just a little bit too sticky in the ground. So what I found was switching to a trail runner was a lot better. I got really good traction on the ground. It's also super comfortable, but what I liked about it is I could really kind of like roll my foot when I needed to instead of it being super sticky and just planting. So I hope over time that's kept me injury free, which it has. I don't know if that's because of the shoe, but for the type of decoy work I do, it's a great shoe and it works better for me than a cleat. The one time I will wear a cleat is if I am trialing in just a mud pit where there's no traction at all, and the best type of traction you're going to get is just something, and you might get that from a cleat. So that's a time where you might want to have a cleat in your decoy bag if you have really really bad weather. So I'm going to show you these shoes. What I typically do is I'll buy a new pair of Ultra, and these are the Lone Peak. Lone Peak is probably my favorite type of Ultra. I've had several different types, but for decoying, the Lone Peak is a great shoe. What I like about it is Ultra really kind of brags on this a little bit. A lot of shoes will have a little bit of a boost, for lack of better terms, in the heel. So the plane is a little bit more like that. And they have what they call zero drop to where it's flat. And that the first time I heard that, I didn't think that that would sound very comfortable, but it's incredibly comfortable. Just more of a natural way for your foot to sit in the shoe. The thing that I really like about Ultras, more than any other brand, is the width of their toe box. So over time, when I'm decoying, especially like trial decoying, your feet will start to swell a little bit, and this gives you enough room to where it never feels like that shoe is getting too tight because your feet are swelling throughout the day. I can move in this, and just naturally I have a little bit of a wider toe box, so this is very very comfortable. Some of the other trail runners have a more narrow toe box, so this becomes a little bit too constricted for me whenever I'm decoying. So I really like this shoe a lot. These are the new ones I'm going to wear with my cargo shorts and my tucked in plaid shirt when I go to Walmart and do grocery shopping and do dad stuff. So I'm excited to have a new pair. And what I typically do with my shoes is I'll start rotating my shoes. I always try and keep a pair that is somewhat new for trial decoying. And these will stay as my trial decoy shoes until they wear out, and then I will replace them with a new one. But what I do with my old Ultras is this will become my training decoy shoe. And then my old training decoy shoe will become my pair of lawn shoes when I'm mowing the yard. So I'm constantly like rotating my Ultras until they just have kicked the bucket and it's time to throw them away. So when I get a new pair of Ultras, one of the very first things that I do is unbox it, check the fit and everything, of course. But I remove the factory laces. They're really good laces. They're flat, they're not round, which I do like if I'm actually going to wear laces. So they are nice laces, but I take them out, and what I want to do is replace them with some type of bungee lace. That makes it really, really easy when I put on my bite suit pants and then I throw my shoes on. I don't have to worry about tying my shoes. All I have to do is zip up my bungee lace, and then I can tuck that back in. I don't have to worry about laces coming undone or laces getting in the way while I'm decoying. So there's lots of different types of laces out there on the market. Most bungee laces are going to be very, very similar. I actually tried a new brand this time. I think I'm going to really like it. This is RJ Sport. I found that on Amazon, but pretty good bungee. And the bungee quality looks good. What I really like about it is their cord stop that they use is nice. Like it's really locking down that lace really well. So pretty happy with these. They had a lot of different color options. I'm pretty plain, so usually it's going to be a gray shoe, black shoe, white shoe, something like that. So I did gray laces, but they had lots of different colors if you're looking for that. So those are my choice shoe for decoying. They're also my choice shoe for mowing the yard, going on a hike. Speaking of hiking, I've worn these for multi-day hikes, 20 miles a day, in the mountains, through rivers, all kinds of stuff, and they hold up great. So that's what they're originally made for, was trail running. A lot of through hikers will use these shoes, but I found them to be fantastic for decoy work too.